Hello, good day, everyone. Sorry, I was muted for the first few seconds. Thank you for coming to today's Tagalog class. Don't get your hopes up too high. I barely passed these classes back in the day, so I'll do the best that I can. It's the least that I'll say. Good day, everyone. Good day, good evening. I hope you're all doing well. I'm here to learn the fun swears. We'll get to that in a minute, because you gotta learn a little bit of the basics so you can mix together the more fun swears, right? We won't be jumping straight into terms. We'll get the very boring stuff out of the way. Yes. We're ready to get schooled. Okay, so I guess without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, Tagalog is the okay, hang on. I feel like if I say this wrong, I might get flamed by the Filipino community. But as far as I'm concerned and aware, Tagalog is the most, maybe not the most widespread used, but the one that's mainly used in Metro Manila and is representative as our national language. Don't quote me on that, but basically, if you're in Metro Manila, the heart of, well, the capital, wait, what? Am I languaging right? I don't think I'm even Englishing right today, but yeah. You'll encounter lots of people know to speak Tagalog. Wow, amazing. I'll back you up if you need help with a few things. Thank you, Tito Moderator. That is very much appreciated. So, Tagalog is the dialect the Filipino language is based from. Ganun ba? Wait, are you sure it's not the other way? Wait, huh? Are you sure it's not the other way around? Well, anyway, it's one of the many languages here. There are many, many dialects here, but we will... Yep, really? Huh. I guess it's my turn to be schooled today. Okay, so apparently... Let's just write this down also for future reference for myself. Tagalog is the base language. Okay. All right. These are my study notes for myself. Wait, oh my god, the canvas too small or my brush is too big. Give me a sec. And then, hang on. And then Filipino is one of the dialects from this base language. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of bases in, what was it? Malay? Both Malay, Spanish, English, and various other, words, especially loan words that we've taken from these other languages. So, there may be some familiar words, especially from Spanish, because the Spaniards were here for like 300 plus years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Also, hello there, Leno. Welcome to the stream. How does one pronounce Bakunawa? Bakunawa. I think that's how it's pronounced. So, let's get more boring stuff out of the way. Sentence structure. All right. So, sentence structure, usually in English, so I'm just gonna put like sentence structure. Okay, like this. All right. So usually in English, it's subject. What was it? Subject, predicate, verb, right? Predicate. Wait, no. Subject, predicate. Because verb is predicate. Oh my god. Subject, predicate, object. What's? I forget the actual proper term for this, but basically, it's kind of like, hang on, let me use some colors. Let's get some colored chalk in here, shall we? So predicate. I don't know why. Did your guys' schools ever use red for verbs? Cause for us, red was always verbs. I'm just gonna make object blue in this case. So for example, it would be let's say John ate the apple, right? John ate the apple, right? So that's the subject, predicate, object structure. But in Tagalog, hang on, let me size that down again. Okay, let me size that down. So in Tagalog, it's more like this. It's the other way around. It is, well, not exactly other way around. It's more like predicate slash verb. Tama ba? Wait, let me check. I totally don't have a browser open to help guide me through this. Asan na? Yeah, wait. Yeah, predicate, subject, object, right? Predicate followed by subject followed by object. Okay. Now this may sound kind of weird, but you know, languages all around the world have their own different structures, right? So let's say this sentence would be kinain ni John yung kinain ni John yung yung or nang, oh my god, kinain ni John yung apple, kinain ni John ng shit, I don't anyway, let's just say it's like this. Tito Moderators is correct. One, I mean, just for the sake of being able to directly connect the two words, let's just leave it like this, okay? So, generally, you can write your sentences like this, but there are also other ways of writing this. For example, si John, kinain niya. Kinain niya. Oh my god. Ay, kinain niya yung apple or whatever, you know. Let's just pull that down there. That's another way of saying it. But like, it's not, it's like when you say, instead of saying like John ate the apple, it's more like, oh yeah, John, yeah, he ate the apple. That's kind of like the connotation you get from saying it like this. Okay, so now also, there's a bunch of tenses. This is the number one thing I hated studying in high school. No, as early as elementary. So tenses, there are like what, 6 different tenses for verbs or just general states of being. So let's take the word kinain, right? So that is like a past tense, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So the base word for that is kain, which literally means eat. Okay. So there's kain, kakainin, which means to eat, so like future tense. And then what else? Yung kinain, which is ate. So that's past tense, right? Kain, kakainin, kinain, kumakain. Kumakain is like present ongoing, like it's currently happening, or like present continuous, something like that. I know there's something similar to that in English, but I forget what it is. Kain, kakainin, kinain, kumakain. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting at least 2 others. Yeah, like eating, basically. Wait, hang on, let me size this down. Yeah, like currently eating. Eating. Kinakain? Okay, wait. Yeah, there's this other terms like kinakain, which is like, oh my god, ang hirap nito. Ah! Yeah, kinakain is like, is being eaten? Something, right? Something like, yeah, it's like on, like past ongoing, I think. Yeah, is being eaten? Oh, ay, ay, ay. You can also use kinakain. I see. Some of these are interchangeable, right? If I'm not mistaken. Kinakain also. Huh? It's also present. Oh, okay. Wow, I am severely underqualified to teach today. But it's okay. We ball, right? Nagbaball lang tayo. Go lang. Go lang. Okay. So, let me size that down a bit. Okay. So, now that we've got the boring stuff out of the way, and that you guys know that there are several tenses, yeah, you can use both. It depends on the context. You're doing good, boss. Go mo lang. Okay. Oh yeah, there are a few other things to be aware of. For example, we have this thing here, ni, right? So these are like, are these particles? I guess these are particles in a sentence that used to refer to certain objects. Ni, nang, ang, what else? Si, oh my god. Not exactly related, but also like mga. Okay, so ni is usually a possessive term, like yung apple ni John. That's John's apple, like, or yeah, John's apple basically. So it turns turns a word, the object, into a possessed object belonging to the subject. Nang and ang are the closest to having like a, an, and the, I'd say, in the English language. I suppose, like ang ibong adarna, the adarna bird. Yeah, that's the closest I would compare it to, is a, an, and the. Yeah, there's also, you can spell nang as nang. I think this is the more formal way of writing it, but each of them also have their own use cases. Si is usually referring to a person. So like for example, when you ask a question, sino siya? Who's that? And siya si John. So like that. Oh my god, I have to explain that too. Like siya si John. Then it would be like he is John. Sorry, siya literally means like they, them, like, oh, not quite literally them. It's the closest is saying like you, a non-gendered you. So it would also be closest to saying he, because Tagalog in and of itself is not a gendered language. We do have some terms that are gendered, but most of it is yeah, and yeah. And then let me see. I guess you could compare these two, but the thing is, with the word si, has a lot of different uses than just is, I suppose. And well, John is John. Okay, so let me see, what else do we have here? Oh my god, there's also sila, which is closer to saying they or them, like as in a group of people. Like sino sila? Who are they? Like, who are these like three people over there? Yeah. Filipino Tagalog is generally gender neutral. Yeah. Let me see. Sila, sina. There's, oh god. Okay, let's not get too into it, right? Let's not go too deep with it. You guys want to learn the fun things, right? Okay. So now let's learn some fun swear words. Okay. Swear words. Wow. Swear words. Now, This is for the sake of education, right? And I think it's totally fine to talk about this. So Filipino skylights, if you have some that you may know that I don't know of, feel free to add it in. So for profanity, the most popular one I think is gago or gaga, which closest I would say is I need to make my brush smaller. Give me a sec. The closest to this would be I guess you could say bastard in a way. Or bitch, maybe. Actually, am I allowed to write these things? You know what? It is educational, so sure. Why not? If YouTube doesn't like it, then YouTube doesn't like it. Oh well. This is considered a bit more friendly in some ways. Of course, it depends on how close you are to the person. But generally speaking, like, you know, if your friends are messing around and they say something really stupid, you can be like, "Uy, gago," you know? So, gago is dumb. It can also mean dumb, I think. But I think contextually, it's closer to calling someone bastard or bitch. It can be friendly or not depending on the tone and who you say it to. That's true, yeah. I guess, yeah, let's also include the connotation of calling someone stupid. Now, for me, if you want to call someone stupid, the mean way of calling someone stupid is tanga. Now, this goes kind of beyond just calling someone stupid. Like, for me personally, it's closer to using the hard R word, which is why I personally don't really like this word. But yeah, that's one of the swear words available. And then, of course, there is puta or putang ina. Putang ina. So puta comes from the Spanish word, of course, for whore, right? So, right, the word whore. But putang ina meaning mother. So calling your mom a hoe, quite literally calling your mom, hang on, a hoe. But contextually, it is closer to calling someone motherfucker. There you go. So, yeah. Although you are calling someone's mom a hoe, it's more like you are calling them the mofo. Wow, agad. Well, it's what the people want to learn, you know? They want to learn the fun swear words. Okay, so let me see. Aside from that, we also have, what else do we have? Magandang gabi, tita. Tita! Oh my gosh. It is added with a mo at the end just to say son of a bee. Ah, that's true. Like, putang ina mo. Yeah, that's true. So, what else do we have? These are the most common ones that I remember. Come on, Filipino skylight. I mean, admirers, please refresh my memory. Let me see. There's a much lighter term that, though on its own doesn't necessarily mean, yeah, bobo. Yeah, there's also bobo. Bobo is also stupid. Hang on, I don't really know where this word comes from. Bobo also means stupid, but I think it's like a step lower than tanga, you know? Let me see. Isn't it more like son of a beach? I guess. Okay, then yeah. Let's write that down. Son of a beach. There we go. So, Let me see. There's this one term I learned somewhat later on in my life on the internet. But I'm pretty sure I've heard the generals use this once or twice. So there's this term called maniakis. It is very rarely used, especially in this day and age. Maniakis literally means like a deranged pervert. So just very, 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 very perverted. Like a maniac. Manyak gooner? More than manyak pala, hindi manyaki, sorry. Yeah. There we go. So it still is. I rarely ever hear that term, even when I go out. Bobo comes from Spanish as well. Really? I did not know that. Well, English ng bano, bano? Doesn't bano mean like weak or something? Yung bano, does it mean weak? I think it means weak. Does it not? Search ko. Wait. Taranta. I hear the term taranta a lot, but that's just because the ailing general uses it a lot. I don't think it's exactly a bad word, but it is a way to describe someone who's easily startled. She always says that I am tarantado. Tagalog meaning of word bano. Weakling, useless, stupid, or terrible. Okay. So, oh my god. Wait, weak, useless. Is it noob? This, you know what? The closest word to this in Japanese is probably zako. If I really think about it, bano is basically zako. You know? It's more of a gamer word. It is. Do Filipinos use the term hampas lupa? Sometimes, but definitely not in the younger generation. What does hampas lupa mean again? I know I've heard it. Hampas lupa is... It literally means to like have your face to the ground, right? Poor. Yeah. Okay, so only in dramas. Yeah, it's a very old term. So I don't think people will use it a lot now. Hampas lupa. Like dirt poor, quite literally. To make hampas is like to slap. Usually like to the face. So it's like having your face slapped to the ground. That's how poor you are, basically. Slap soil, quite literally. Oh my goodness. Let me see. What else do we have? This one is like, it really depends on who you ask. But I've heard the term leche being used as a cuss word. Slap soil na nga na yun. Slap soil? No way. People don't actually call it slap soil. Ew. Yeah, hampas lupa literally means just pour out. Hello, Avery. Hello. And also, Akashi Kayan. Hello, welcome to the stream. Let me see. What else do we have? Swear words. Going back to tenses, by the way, you can use the word gago in many, many different ways. Cause like, you can say ginagago mo ba ako? Ginagago mo ba ako? Which means, are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me, bro? Like, really? Are you really right now? Or let me see. What else? There are other ways to say these things. I'm pretty sure. I'm just forgetting. Why is it? I feel like my vocabulary for Tagalog cuss words has decreased significantly ever since I started streaming, because I spoke to mainly an English audience. So, Why do you see multiple swear words on this? Because the American audience, or the foreign audience rather, wants to learn more about just swear words in general because it's fun. Tarantado. I don't think tarantado is a bad word, unless it has been, and I've been called a bad word my entire your life without knowing. Tarantado. To my understanding, this is just someone who is easily flustered, easily startled. Easily flustered or startled. Yeah. Wait, you don't know? No. Huh? That's not what tarantado means? I've always been called tarantado growing up. What are you talking about? Taranta and tarantado are two completely different terms. I wait, really? Oh yeah, gaggy. That's the Filipino pakboy of way of saying things. Hang on. Filipino term taranta meaning panic, confusion. Tarantado meaning what is the difference? 2 years ago on Reddit. Oh, natataranta, panicky, bewildered. Tarantado is stupid, shameless, and disobedient. Oh, okay. Never mind. This is not the definition. I think yeah, the generals probably called me natataranta all the time. Panicked. Oh, sorry, no, this is shameless and vulgar, right? Shameless / vulgar. Oh yeah, wait, hang on, speaking of vulgar terms. Tite. Which means pee-pee. Peanuts. Okay. And then what's the other term? What's the term for balls again? Tite tsaka ano? Ano ulit? Guys, what's the term for balls again in Tagalog? I forget. Yeah, well, itlog pwede. Bayag burat. Ah, yeah, that's, yeah, bayag / burat is balls. There we go. And then I guess, yeah, itlog literally means egg. So, you know, the dangling eggs, right? Burat is also... Ah, burat is pee-pee, but more vulgar. Okay. There we go. Let me see. Let me just move this over here. Hang on, let me... Just... Okay, there we go. What else did I want to say? So, aside from that, there's also... Poke. Kiki. What else do they call it? What else do they call it? Yung ano? Yung ano? I forget. But basically, this is the Vagu. Yeah, the Vagu. The... Isn't it such a cute sounding word? You know? Anyway. Then there's also... Ah, yeah, pek pek. Yeah, pek pek. There is the pek pek. There we go. Oh, this is not exactly a vulgar term, but it does have vulgar origins. So there is the term bold, which means naked or nude. So this comes from the old term, the old movies where you know, bold movies, you have bold stars where they get, you know, they get naked. So nobody uses this term anymore unless you're really old. Not to say that you guys are really old if you are still using it, but like, yeah, bold films. Sometimes bold is also used for porn. That's true. Can also be used for porn as well. That is true. Okay, not exactly. Oh, I guess it's also still kind of vulgar term. So tae is a vulgar way of saying poop. There we go. So it is a little awkward when we see someone with the name te in another language. Also, there was a time where Twice's song TT sounded a lot like this. And when it got really popular in the Philippines, everyone was, you know, giggling like a high school kid. I'm like TT. Yeah, hubad is also literally naked, nude. Viva Max? Oh no, what's Viva Max? What? Let me see. What else? You can just imagine how funny that was for Filipino. Yeah. Let me size this down a little bit further so we can write some more. 12-year-old humor, basically. I'm trying to think of other words. Oh yeah, some more modern ones. Iyot. I don't know how else to spell it, but like everyone online spells it like this, which means the intercourse, I think, that's old. This is old? Really? I had no idea. Huh. Iyot. Oh, is that how you spell it? Oh, thank you. It's Bisaya. Oh. I see. I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Yawa also Bisan, which means like devil, right? Or beast, if I'm not mistaken. Like pisting Yawa. I don't know what the pisting means, but oh yeah, kantot, kantotan, yes, kantot. Also, kantot. Let me write that. Oh god. I hope no one's like overhearing me saying these things are going like, what the fuck is this girl saying? Yeah. So yeah, kantot, iyot, yawa. Pesting ya. Like peste na yawa. Oh. I see, I see. Very educational. Well, I hope it has been so far. Let me see. Suddenly Dan walks in chat. That would be unfortunate. Yawa can also be a compliment. Oh, okay. You can also, Rich reminds me, you can call someone hayop, which can have both negative and positive connotations, I think. Like, uy, hayop, which means like, yo, dude, you're a fucking beast at this. Or like, hayop ka, which means you're, you know, yeah, you're a beast, you're a monster, you're a pig, if you will. Yeah, so hayop literally means animal, though. Hayop. Hayop. That's true. That's for the positive connotation, I guess, question mark. Tapos, ano pa? Oh yeah, another way of saying itlog is also betlog. But betlog more commonly refers to the balls. So let me just like betlog. Ayun. Ayun. There we go. Hayop ka, Lodi, ang lupet mo. Which literally means like, yo, idol, you're a beast. I admire you. Betlog is more of a playful term. I guess so. I guess so, yeah. Are there any other terms that I want to bring up? Anything that anyone remembers? If not, maybe we can move on from the swear words to more like, I don't know, slang? Tumbong. What does tumbong mean? I've never heard of the word tumbong. Ano yun? Tumbong. Hang on. Ang butas ng puwet! I did not know that. Okay. Oh, yeah, the tumbong is the butthole. Okay, thank you. I've learned a new word today. Butthole. Also, puwet. Hang on, puwet / puwet. Puwet. I need to separate my letters. / puwet. which is how some people spell it, is just butt. You know, the butt. There we go. Or innocent, really? There's also pisot. Is that also referring to the bunghole? Hang on, I'm gonna go look it up. Pisot. Man, this is turning into an educational stream for me. Hindi tuli! Sorry. Wait, which reminds me. Okay, hang on. We gotta add so pisot, or what's it called? Supot. Or that's how you say it, right? Not supot. Supot is bag, right? Supot is uncircumcised. There, hang on. Circumcised. There we go. Because there is a culture of circumcising your kids here in the Philippines. The latter is bag. Okay. We're learning anatomy Tagalog. Let me see. So, let me see. What else? Am I missing anything? Support. Oh no, yeah, there's kids who make fun of each other for that, or like teenagers, and it's like, bruh, get out of somebody else's business, whatever's going on in their pants. Don't ask them these things. My God. In Filipino culture, getting circumcised is a manhood thing. I guess that's true. They treat it like a test of courage and like a trial of pain, basically. From how I see it and understand it. You know, they hype it up and like, oh, now you're a big man now because you got your pee-pee snipped or whatever, you know? You're not a man if you're... Yeah, I guess it's a very cultural thing, huh? I know that there are other countries that practice this as well, but yeah. Let me see. Is there anything else? What the hell? It's a rite of passage, I guess. Basically, that's how they treat it. Now, I think we have more than enough swear words for you guys to use and utilize. So why don't we go ahead and write some nice and pretty words, you know? Let's compliment people or make them feel special. For example, maganda, which means beautiful. Now, this can refer to not just women, but things in general. We also use this in the greeting of magandang umaga, which means good morning, but can be quite literally translated to beautiful morning. And then magandang hapon, which means, you know, good afternoon. But if you say magandang hapon, oh, you can pull that line up on a Japanese tourist. Congrats, your pee-pee don't feel as good during sexy time. You're real man. What the hell? I see. Yeah, guapo. Yes, guapo. Which comes from the Spanish word also guapo, right? Guapo /GW, guapo. We've simplified a lot of spellings for these, which means handsome. Handsome. Now, if you want the slang term, there's pogi. Usually, I feel like when you say someone's pogi, pogi. Sorry. When you say it, like has a younger connotation than saying someone's guapo. Like guapo feels more formal, more refined. Pogi means like cute guy next door, you know? Actually, it felt better after. Don't ask me how I know. Okay. Bili na pogi. Oh my God. Gigil. Oh, wait. Gigil is... Hi, Pogi. Gusto mo babae? So, gigil is a term that cannot be directly translated in English, but you can use it in various different ways, such as cute aggression. Am I spelling this right? I feel like aggression is aggression 2 G's or 2 R's? Hang on. I need to type it out. Aggression. Oh, it's 2 G's. Okay. Cute aggression. Annoyance. Giddiness. Let me see. Gigil ako si bites lip. Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can use the word gigil, but I feel like the most common way to see it is when girls are watching like a teleserye with their favorite male star showing. And they're like, oh, nagigigil na ako. Bleh. Anyway, seething in anger, that's true. Anger as well. So it can mean good things, it can mean bad things. Also, what a lot of people do here in the Philippines, like for example, you're calling over a gas station attendant or a waiter, and they don't pay attention to you when you say like kuya or whatever. But if you go like pogi, pa-order naman no, they will turn around because people tend to be they tend to be GGSS, which means either ganda sa sarili or guwapong-guwapo sa sarili. Guwapong-guwapo. Which translates to being narcissistic. I'll just wrap it up as narcissistic. Am I spelling that right? Sure, whatever. So quite literally says finds themselves very attractive, very beautiful, or very handsome. But okay, it's not quite exactly narcissistic, but somebody who, you know, feels that they're attractive, basically. Daming taong ganito. Yeah, they're full of themselves. Yeah, wait, full of themselves is a great way to put it. Full of themselves. There we go. But now it's lods. Hindi demure. Yes, they are not demure tsaka mindful. They are not. Actually, I kind of want to veer into also discussing Taglish later on, because Tagalog is one of the easiest languages to mesh English into, I think. But before that, other positive terms that we have. So, maganda, guapo, gigil, sure, lodi. Okay, the term lodi comes from spelling the word idol backwards. For example, there's someone you look up to you call them idol, but as slang, they flip the words around. There are a bunch of words that have been flipped around for slang, actually. What's the term for cigarillo? Yosi! Yeah, cigarillo. Cigarillo. Yosi. So they took this section YOSI and combined them together to make Yosi. Cigarillo is cigarette, by the way. That's not exactly a positive term. So I'm gonna move this over to the other side. What's chibog? I can't say I'm super familiar with the term chibog. Bogji? What's chibog, guys? Macho sexy. Oh, macho. I think lodi can be used in any term, like for like just general admiration. Chibog is slang for food. Oh, chibog is kain. Oh, I see. Sorry, I only know ulam. God. I don't know. I feel so embarrassed. I feel so embarrassed surrounded by admirers who know Tagalog more than I do. Let me see. What other positive words do we have? Mabait. When someone is mabait, that means they are nice. They are kind. They are good. They, you know, like demure, you know. Oh yeah, you guys know how in Japanese there's the term of a lady being the Yamato Nadeshiko, the very demure, very ideal kind of woman, right? We have, oh my god, what's it called? Oh my god, what's she called again? Something Maria? Maria Clara. So Maria Clara. demure woman. You know, demure, subservient, knows how to do all the chores, etc., etc. Yeah, Maria Clara. So that's our version of the Yamato Nadeshiko. Now, mahinhin. Yeah, mahinhin, demure, you know, very soft-spoken. Do we have a male equivalent for that? For the stereotypical macho man? I don't particularly remember any. Maria Clara sa umaga. Tas ano siya sa gabi, ha? Maria Clara in the morning and at night. Why is my tongue sticking out? What's going on? Bruh. Anyway, aside from that, we also have our version of misterioso. That's just mysterious. Mr. Mysterious, you know? Tall, dark, and mysterious. That's just mysterious. I don't think so. I guess not, huh? We do have our own version of John Doe, which is Juan de la Cruz. Si Juan de la Cruz is our John Doe. Basically, you know, the average Filipino man. As for the Jane Doe, I think isn't it Juana? Is it Juana de la Cruz? I don't really know. But basically, Juan. Yeah, Juan is our average Filipino person. Though I'm pretty sure there are probably... I don't know. I feel like there are more people named... What kind of... Usually biblical names, you know? But I can't really think of many right now. What other terms do we have? I think it's kind of branched out from good ones to... Oh! Let's get into some deep Tagalog. What's it called? Not mahal. Iniirog ko. Does that... Oh my god, wait, no. There's another term. Ang tawag dyan? Ay, matalinos. Intelligent. Matalino. Intelligent. I can't write to save my life. Wise. I think in the context of being like sharp wise, you know? And then yeah, street smart. Street smart. There we go. If you guys can still read my handwriting, props to you, because sometimes I cannot. Yeah, malupet is badass. Malupet. Badass. Do we have Tagalog terms of endearment, guys? Mahal ko, I guess. So yeah, let's size this down. So terms of endearment, or toes, you know, as we can shorten it to toes. Mahal ko. Oh, wait, right. Sinta. Aking sinta. Right? Aking sinta. What? Anong panga? Is it panga cheek? Wait, is that actually a term of endearment? Oh my god. Yes, irog. Irog also means lover. I see. Irog. Aking irog. Yes. Panga? Panga? Where is this commonly used? Panga. Some use buddy. Oh, sige, I'll write down panga. Okay. I don't think Filipinos use their parental terms as terms of endearment. The most common thing that will happen is that a married couple will call each other mommy and daddy after their kid is born, because it gets the kid more used to that, you know. But I don't think I've ever heard a Filipina or Filipino call their significant other mommy or daddy, and I would feel very awkward. Oh, gusto kita. Ay, Lan, gusto mo ako? Saan? Saan mo ako gusto, Lan? Sige. idonzulweta mo na ako. Hi, Lan. Thank you for visiting. Ang heart. Why? Sorry, I also pulled up a bit of a cultural reference there. So uso pa ba ang harana? Harana is like a serenade, yeah. So for a cultural reference, Don Zulueta. Wait, I'm going to reference from the way you guys wrote it, Zulueta. I've never learned how to spell her surname. So she's an actress, and in one of the movies that she's in, she gets like lifted by the main love interest in the movie, and you know, it's like, oh, it's such a romantic moment, and you know, fans of said movie basically reference that as like idonzulweta mo ko, which means like treat me like Don Zulueta, but specifically referring to just that one scene. Yeah. It means sweep me by the leg, yeah. So to say idonzulweta mo ako, sweep sweep me off my feet. And then let me see. Is there anything else? I'm pretty sure there are more other cultural references. I'm just not remembering. Oh, I remembered something super vulgar. Sweep the legs. Is this romance or is this wrestling? All is fair in love and war, guys. To make chupa or chupain. You guys know what you do with chupa chups, right? That's basically it. So, yeah. Let's put that away from the cute stuff. Let's put it in its own, yeah, BJs basically. Ay. So there's that. And then let me see, what other stuff do we have here? There's other slang, right? Let's go think of some other slang. I'm thinking of like the ones that I'm thinking of are like the Becky language. It could be cute. I don't know about that. Chupa means to suck in Spanish, yeah, and that's why chupa chups are called that, right? But and also as you know, you know. Anyway, so okay, now we're gonna be delving into some. Oh, Dragon! Thank you for the 1 month flex. How do you say dragons are the best? Asking for a friend. There are many ways to say it. Like, napaka-astig ang mga dragon. I don't know. It depends on the context of how you want to say it. Like, for example, because there's no like, if you say the best, do we have a the best? We have the term pinaka, which is like a prefix that you attach to an adjective that makes it mean the most, like pinakamaganda, the most beautiful, pinakamagaan, like the lightest. So I don't think we really have a term. Ilalabas ko na ang aking dragon, Eugene. Yeah, we don't really have a term for a direct word for best. So you have to pick an like a context that you want to say that you are the best in. The ilalabas ko na ang aking dragon, Eugene, is a Tagalog dub of the Ghost Fighter anime Yu Yu Hakusho, I think. Tama ba? Yu Yu Hakusho ba? But yeah, pinaka best. Yeah, pinaka best ang mga dragons. Sorry, that's so konyo. Oh my god. But yeah, pinaka-best ang mga dragons. Talaga. Swear, promise. Talaga, they're the best. Tagalog fan shh. I didn't say that. Anong gentle? Walang gentle. OMG, you're so konyo, Box. Oh my god. Anyway, so Becky language. So the Becky language, I guess you could say, is its own sub-dialect of the Tagalog language. So Becky is a different form of the word bakla. And bakla refers to the gay male community in the Philippines. So the Beckies. Beckies are often more feminine presenting, if I am remembering correctly. But bakla in general, there are plenty of gay men in the Philippines as well. I can't think of the female term for lesbian in the Philippines. Because, like, the only terms I know are the not so nice ones that the older people have said. Yeah, tomboy refers to butch lesbian in Philippines. So yeah, tomboy, which is very different connotation from everywhere else in the world, is a butch lesbian in the Philippines. There we go. Yeah. Tibo? Really? So when you say titibo tibo like the song, really? Hang on, let me check. Tibo. Oh, also tend to be masculine presenting. I see. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you. So that's what the song means. Or T-bird, really? Puso ko ay titibok-tibok. Oh, wait, right. That's the actual song, titibok-tibok, right? Oops. My bad. So I don't think the lesbian community has their own sub-language as far as I'm aware, but the Becky language is very diverse. For example, Mamshi is like a way to refer to like mommy, which is like sister friend, you know? Like, yeah, sis. Here, let me just write it like, yes, sis. You know? And then there's also sisteraka. Ano pang... Bekimon has sign language too? Real? Tibo is also known as boyish. What about the gamer community? Do we have... The gamer community is literally just all of these swear words. That's the gamer community here. I don't think there's any term for them, guys. Yeah, echos and char. Yeah, chorvalu, eklavush. Oh my god, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I love the word eklavush. Eklavush. It's such a word, you know? Char means like JK, quite literally, like just kidding. Like, uy, ang sarap niya, kakainin ko siya. Char, you know, like, wow, that guy's so hot. I'm gonna eat him. Just kidding, you know, stuff like that. Water means I, which comes from... Oh, really? Wait, what? That one's new. I have not learned that one yet. Water comes from watashi. Oh my god. Which means I... Oh my god, that's crazy. A charing. Oh, pwede rin charing. Yeah. Patayin mo na ang ilaw at kakain ko na yan. Charot. Yeah. Hang on, give me a sec. Let me write down charot. I can't write. I remember... yeah! People using salt as in. Yeah, that's true. Asin, which means salt, but also used as in like. There we go. Oh my god. Huh? Huh? Hotdog? Huh? That's kind of just like a, I don't know, some sort of Philippine joke where when someone goes like, huh? And then someone goes like, huh? Hotdog? It's a pun. Yeah, it's a pun. Adi pakisarong kuneta yung lumpia. Wait, hang on. I learned that recently. What does it mean again? Sharon kuneta? Is it like, oh my god, wait. Sharon, kun... Oh my god, wait. Teka, nahirapan na ako. What does it mean again? What does it mean to Sharon Cuneta? Sharon Cuneta is another public figure here. Take out? Paano naging... Oh my god, wait. How did Sharon Cuneta start meaning take out? Balutin? Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, hold up. We gotta... Sharon Cuneta. Sharon Cuneta. She's an actress, right? Which means balutin. Which means take out, like, as in, like, food. Take out food. Oh my god. You see how crazy the language slang gets? Probably from her song. Balutin mo ako. Oh, from her song. Song Balutin mo ako. Rap me. Balutin mo ako. Diyos ko. What a mess this language is. What a mess. What does eklavush mean? Like, parang wala lang, no? Oh yeah, wait, that reminds me. There's this term called mema. Mema. Which means may masabi lang. May masabi lang. So, this is someone who, like, just tries to get in there in a conversation or just tries to say something just to be relevant, but it's kind of annoying. So, that's somebody who's mema. Or at least that's my understanding of it, yeah. The slang is just a bunch of cultural inside jokes. Yeah, pretty much. The song is Bituing Walang Ningning. Wait, Bituing Walang Ningning? The stars that don't shine? Paano yung naging balutin? Is that a line from the song? Or is huh? I'm so confused. I'm missing out. Bituing walang ningning. Diyos ko. It's a line from the song. Oh my god. God, we came all the way from takeout food to an actress to her song. Jesus. And I've never watched the movie, no. Oh, so, although Filipinos are generally pretty friendly, if you really want to integrate, you're gonna need to catch up on years of cultural history that have also probably lost their origins, especially with the newer generation. Except for communities that are more tightly knit, wherein the oral traditions will be passed down from family to next generation. So if you're like me, who grew up on mainly American media, surrounded by both foreign expats, kids, and just fellow other English-speaking people, you will not be able to relate to the rest of the Filipinos. So it can be kind of isolating, but you know what? That's okay. Let's not delve into that. Anyway! So, there are other terms here that I want to share. So there's KSP, which means kulang sa pansin. So literally, someone who doesn't have enough attention. In other words, an attention whore. So that is someone who is KSP. Yes. Guys, she's calling us boomers. Hang on, let me move this over to the side over here. There was something else I was remembering kanina. What was it? Kulang sa pansit. No. If that were the issue, then that could be easily solved, you know? But there are many people who are just KSP. Oh! There's also another term here. TNT. Tago tago ng tago, which refers to people who are always hiding and on the run. So this is commonly used with overseas Filipino workers who kind of hide when they have to be either deported or returned back to their country. And so they stay in hiding. So that's TNT. Well, meron din talk and text. Yeah, that's true. Utang? I guess also people who have debts. Yeah, utang is like you have a debt, basically. Illegal OFWs, yeah. Also people run away from debt. Okay, yeah, that's true. So if if you're trying to look for that guy you lent $5 to maybe like a year ago and he's not around, when their visas expire, yeah. Some use it to refer to people who can't confess their love. Really? That's news to me. Oh, wait. That reminds me. Oh my god. MU, which means mutual understanding. Understanding. This only has a more recent English equivalent because it started showing up within like the 2020s-ish. This is a situationship where you have feelings for each other, but you're not a thing, and it's a very will they, won't they kind of deal, And then, yeah, torpe is different though. Torpe usually refers to a guy who, guy with either with no romantic initiative or very shy. So he's a guy who can't make moves on somebody he likes. I guess you could use it to refer to girls as well, but it's much more commonly used with men. Now on the other end of the spectrum, there's people who are makunat ba? Hindi makunat eh. What's the word? Somebody who's anak ng pating, a regional thing. I've heard it used, but I'm not exactly sure where it's used. They were roommates. Huh? No, MU has been around since 80s. Wait, di nga! The generals, they've never heard of MU before. Torpe ako. You gotta strap your boots up, bro. Tough. Manhid. Hindi manhid! Yung makunat na tao na, the person who easily falls in love. Also, yeah, there is Packboy. That is true. The person who easily falls in love and always gets into relationships, or madaling mafall. Madaling mapafall! Marupok! Yon! Thank you. Marupok. Somebody who easily falls in love. So, somebody smiled at you and said, "Hi there. You're looking really nice today. Like your shirt." And you want to pronounce your love for them off of the rooftops? You're marupok, bro. Okay, falls in love. There we go. Also brittle. It literally means brittle. So brittle. There we go. So you easily break and fall in love. Yeah, that's the meaning. Omsim ate keeps speaking. What does omsim mismo? Like, exactly? Is that what it is? Makuna kasi is tough, like leathery tough. Right. Thank you for reminding me. To be fair, men rarely get complimented. I mean, true. That's why marupok, I hear it most commonly with women. Honestly, I hear that with women so much. Yes, but okay. I see. Omsim is pretty recent, 2024. Okay, now let's get into the language stuff that might be a bit easier to follow for foreign viewers. So, the fuckboy, also known in English as the fuckboy, Konyo. Ian Zoomer. No, not really. It's not really Ian Zoomer. What? How else do you first? How else do I describe this? Mga taga Arneo. Arneo at sa Ateneo, sorry. Ateneo Delazol. DLSU, sorry. De La Salle. Oh my god. So the language of the rich, taga BGC, the rich kids, taga BGC slash rich kid language. Oh god. Which you can kind of sort of sum up to konyo. Okay. All right. Oh, sino man nanalo sa next UAAP? Malay ko ba? I have no idea who's gonna win the next UAAP. Ah, yes, the rich kid words. Okay. So Taglish. Let's mix it in. You can kind of place me in the category of speaking Taglish or konyo. But I do try my best not to mix the two, so I sound more reasonable and more natural, and I don't come off as pompous, even though it's really hard. I wrote konyo twice. Hang on. Anyway. But it has the air of being a rich kid. Do not bring Jejemon. I don't know anything about Jejemon, unfortunately. I did not partake in it. So, for example, Tara, let's go get some Starbs. Simple enough, right? That's Starbucks. Tara, let's go get some Starbs. And then there's also Pigs and Carps. Alam nyo ba to? Do you guys know Pigs and Carps? Okay, English speaking audience, can you guess what pigs or carps means? Starbs tayo carps. Okay, we obviously have someone here who already understands it. Good, I will die from nose bleeding with that. Oh no. Scoobs did. All right. I forgot what Scoobs means, but okay. So pics is IMG, right? Image. An image is pics. So that means like I'm G. Like I'm raring to go. And then carps is a rug, right? Which is RUG. Are you like good to go? So that's pigs and carps. What's Scoobs me? Ano bang Scoobs ulit? Scoobs is a dog. Great Dane. Danes, pare! Oh my god, Danes! Oh my god, Scoobs comes from Danes, because he's a Great Dane. Which means Danes. Like this Danes, which comes from Hindi. Hindi. Which comes from Hindi. Hindi. Which means no. The kids are not okay! Oh my god, this is so dumb. Please note, this is like a 2020-ish college student language, high school maybe, especially those who are more wealthy. You know, it's funny how much of the Philippine slang is just the bastardization of words. Oh god. Dehins. Well, pwede rin like, well, this is the more modern way of spelling it, but it's also like dehins, which is like hindi. Dehins, which is like that. There you go. And then you just flip it around for that. Okay. Oh my god. And then there's also the word itchy. You know, guys, let's go to itchy. I want to make Billy. Any guesses from the Americans or English speaking audience? Can you guess what itchy is? So there's just a lot of letters to say no. I know, right? These konyo terms are fairly recent, but konyo has been around since 80s or 90s. It has. It's just not as cursed as it is right now. They got an STD. No. I'll give you a hint. It's a place. Also, Miona, hello, welcome to the stream. Itchy is a place. The more I learn, the more confused I get as to how they got to this. It's certainly a thing. I don't know. The kids are not okay, as Fuji put it. Please tell me it's not a Simpson reference. Love Hotel? No. No. Okay. So Itchy refers to Makati City, or in other words, Makate, which it's both a city, but it can also refer to Makate, which means itchy in Tagalog. Itchy. So that's... What? To go eat? No. Oh god. What else is there? I'm trying to remember. There's also the typical... This is not really a konyo thing. I'm out. So these are more commonly used terms for like bro. So there's like pare. There's chong. Also spelled as chong. Let me see. What else do they say? Yeah, Lodi not as much. Lodi has a more down-to-earth kind of feel in my opinion. So pare chong chong, which means like dude / bro. And the most common thing you will hear a fuckboy say is uy gagi, uy gagi, uy gagi. Sino yung shawty na yan? Oh yeah, they often use the term shawty as well. Uy, ang cutie ni shawty ah. Yeah, tol. Yeah, they also use tol. Sorry. Oh my god, repa. That is such an old term. I'm so sorry. Yeah, repa pips. Oh my god, repa. Which is the reverse of pare. And then you can also get mga repa pips. Which I think can also refer to like the pips part is like people of the Philippines. Oh my god. Let me see. What else do they say? The moment you said I almost punched you through my screen. They ignite a fire, an anger in people who are outside of their circle. It's cause in a way it feels so removed from the average person's experience. Now, please note, I know someone I know several. I know many people who speak like this on the average, and they do have life experiences far removed from my own. I think it's because this kind of language and the way that it is spoken, it gives off the air of reality has not hit yet. So, which is why it can be infuriating. So, yeah. That does not sound very swagapino. Pare mare means godfather or godmother. Really? Is that where it's from? I see. I can feel the spit being sprayed when those words were invoked. Now, please note, like, most people are people. You know, even if they speak the Konyo language. And you know, if they're nice people, then that's all that matters, right? But there are some people out there who are just really like, oh my god, what are you doing? You know? Let me see. So, what are some other slangs that I know that they use? Most people are people. Most Konyo people are people still, and you need to remember. Fuji, please. Oh god. I'm sure that they are nice. They could just be nice from Jupiter. Yeah, you know, that's a good way of putting it. When I studied here on Earth for college, I had batchmates who would do like drifting, car drag racing as a hobby and would do it very frequently. And like, this is like, you know, and like get starbs every day. And then people also saying like, oh yeah, we went to so-and-so country for our vacation, but now they want to go there again. I wanted to go to this other country for our vacation. You know, yeah, I was surrounded by people like that. And me and my broke ass was like, well, shit. Oh, sharks patingin. Oh yeah, sharks. Yeah, you're right. I love Konya speakers that do try to speak normally with regular Filipinos. That's true. So sharks, which is pating, and then for patingin, which is like let me see. I can't write. Let me see. There we go. I'm learning that Konya just predates Zoomer speak, and I don't understand either. It predates it by quite a bit. Now, I would say that stuff like this is Zoomer Konya, but like, yeah, the connotations and general speech patterns have remained the same, pretty much. So Konya's just terrible puns, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I guess so. Have I met anyone who has said this unironically? I'm not I mean, have I? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's as much as I remember. Tagalog slang is very interesting. Yeah, you know what? I wish I could pull up a video from like some of the Becky influencers in the scene, so you can like see how much difference there is to the point where a regular person from the Philippines cannot understand it, you know? I can somewhat follow English Zoomer speak, but I feel Konyo requires you to know the references which Americans would know. Yeah, I think that's a common thing throughout Tagalog and its sub-languages as a whole, you know? So Konyo is part of the reason why we have sorry Pinos. What the fuck is a sorry Pino? Is it the I have a terminal illness, it's called being Filipino? Is it that? Just so you guys know, every Filipino, I think regardless of class, is usually like, tangina, alis na tayo sa Pinas. like, god damn it, let's just leave the country already. So I think sorry Pinos can come from any social class, personally. Yes, there are some very nationalistic people and those who are very proud of our country, but there are also a very large portion that are not. So, and I think there's just a large portion that just don't care, really. So, yeah. I'm trying to think are there any other sub-languages or other things that I should teach you? I'll teach you when it comes to mind, but let's learn some family terms, okay? So yeah, family terms. So you have mom, which is nanay, okay? And then you have dad, which is tatay. And then you have older sister is ate. And then you have older brother, which is kuya. And then you have sibling, which is kapatid. You can also use the word mga kapatid to refer to like your close peers, basically. Yeah, nanay, tatay, ate, kuya. We don't have terms for younger siblings, but for the youngest sibling, my nose, youngest sibling, we have bunso, the bunso of the family. And then the eldest sibling is called, there's a term, right? What's it? Panganay. Panganay. Which quite literally means the first child, basically. We do borrowed from the Chinese. Is this borrowed from the Chinese? Oh, huh. I've never heard middle child. Well, as we know, the middle child never gets attention. But I don't think so. Oh, can you say useless first child? Oh my god, Lynn, again, going for the jugular. Okay, to call someone useless, you can call them walang kwenta. Walang kwenta. You can also walang kwentang. For example, wala kang kwentang anak. You are a useless child. You are hopeless. You are of no use, you know. Or wala kang kwentang asawa. You are a spouse. You are a useless spouse. So, right, spouse is, hang on, let me move this up. So, spouse is asawa. There we go. Noted. I'm using that next time. If you're going to refer to like, yeah, you can. If you're going to fight with your eldest sibling, you can call them wala kang kwentang panganay. But I think if you're both of adult age, it's more common to just call someone wala kang kwenta. You know, just that, basically. Let me see. Pretty sure there's a hierarchy between siblings. I think there is, yeah. Aswang asawa. Let me think. What else is there for family terms? Right. So we've got uncles, which is tito, and then hang on, give me a sec. Did I say? And then we have aunts, and which is tita, and then we've got godfathers / godmothers, which is ninong / ninang. Something to note about the term for older sibling, like older sister and brother here, as well as uncles and aunts. So you can use these terms also on other people that are not your family members. So for example, you can refer to some guy who maybe looks to be about in his 20s, 30s maybe. You can call them kuya, or if it's a lady, ate. So like if you're talking to like a cashier, you can be like, sorry ate, magkano po ito? You can say like, sorry miss. It becomes miss. Sorry miss, how much is this? Like, how much does this cost? And then usually for older people who look maybe about their mid to late 30s, 40s above, you can call them tito, tita. Another term that's kind of close to it, but is for older people, there is manong and manang. So manong and manang, I feel like contextually it can refer to, yeah, older people. They're not exactly family members. Like you don't call your tito manong. Yeah. You get called tito in your 20s. Who the hell does that? Nuh-uh. Yeah, non-family elderly. Yeah, sorry, this is non-family elders. Now, for actual elders in your family, though, so you got grandfather and grandmother. So this is lolo, and then this is lola. There you go. Some families will have interesting naming hierarchies. For example, naming systems, like instead of lola, because some people don't like the old connotation that has, they sometimes, like for example, will be called mamita, or what else, mima, I guess, like calling somebody mima, you know. Lola is so weird for me since it's an actual name, and we have Lola here. That's true, it is an actual name, so it is a bit awkward. Oh yeah, also, when using the term ate and kuya, it's similar to calling somebody oppa, uni, nisan, nesan. So if you're gonna hit on somebody, you can call them like, hey there ate, kamusta ka na? You know? Or like, hello kuya, ang sarap mo ah. it's close to saying like, Oni-san, hiketeru ne, you know, or like, hey there, big guy, you know. Yeah, so you can use that. It can, oh yeah, po and oppo is like saying this, I guess so. It is pretty close. So we do kind of have formal speak. It's not as rigid as in the Japanese language, but our most common denominator of formal speech is po, oppo. So po, you can add it to a sentence. Like for example, ako po si Adi. So instead of saying ako si Adi, which is saying I am Adi, ako po si Adi is like you use it for people who are of a higher status than you, of older age than you, people who you have a lot of respect for. Oppo is the formal way of saying oo, which means yes. So instead of saying oo po, you say oppo. Adi basically just said, hey kuya, you look tasty. Neurons activated. What? You get more attention if you say huy pogi ang sarap mo ah. That's true. Because everybody wants to be called handsome and or pretty, right? Taskaru. You know, I have a feeling that if I were to read any random piece of text in a sultry voice in Tagalog, you guys probably would like it anyway. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. And yeah, mano po is the practice of... Mano po is the practice of... How do I put it? Like, it's an elder greeting of like... Put the elder's back palm to your forehead, or you lower your forehead to their hand. Also can be called bless. Oh, bless mo si lolo. Bless mo si lolo. Sige na anak. Bless mo na. Which means like, oh, like child, go greet your grandfather in the formal way. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's very similar to the mafia kiss. I think there's also the practice of kissing the priest's ring, right? It might have come from there because we're a very Roman Catholic country. So when you arrive at any party, the first 10 minutes it's just bless. Oh god, yeah. Going around the whole family table and blessing with like 20 of your like relatives. Yeah. Let me see, where's the lie? No, maybe you should probably... I am being baited into reading something in sultry voice. Alright, bet. Sige nga. Let's pull out something very classic that all Filipinos who are chronically online would know. Okay, copy pasta. Alright, sige nga. Here you guys go. Alright, are you ready? Tangina mo, Jepoy Dizon. Ang pangit ng pagmumukha mo. Kita mo na ba ang mukha mo sa salamin? Tangina mo. Ang pangit mo, ha? Tangina mo. At anong ang sinasabi mong pulubi at tagahugas ako ng pinggan, ha? Tangina mo. Tignan mo nga ang bahay ko. Village yan. At ikaw naman. Ano, ha? Tangina mo squatter, ha? Nagayayab. Aba. That's true. That's pretty close to the ara-ara, no? Yeah. Tangina mo, mag-extend ka na dyan. Time ka na eh. Ayun. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Ay. So there. Did you enjoy it? Wow! If only my Dota games. Oh my god! Patch. You guys. Jepoy, di sa talaga. Are there any other... Wait. Tagalog copy pastas. Are there any others? I won't really remember. Are you calling me a layer? That's what you're saying. Are you calling me a layer? Let's see. Where else? What others? I don't see any familiar ones here. Yeah, I don't see any familiar ones here. This is so sad. Not the I'm a layer. Supot ka ba, Eugene? I don't know that one. I've never heard of that one before. I still recall that nothing but a low-grade copycat. Nothing but a low-grade copycat. Yeah, that's true. I've seen that around. Ano to? What is this copy pasta? Hindi na tayo Filipino. Bakla na tayong lahat. Rerespetuhan daw yung mga badita. Wait, where's this from? Oh my god. What the hell? No, Uy! Babe, tignan mo! Si Optimum Pride! Oh, si Optimum Pride, oh! Oh, God. Oh, wait. Hang on. Is there a copy pasta of that? Anong gentle. Copy pasta. Okay. You are nothing but a second grade trying hard copycat. You know, I think it doesn't work if I'm not using it. You are nothing but a second grade trying hard copycat. Ayun, there we go. That's more Filipino. Okay, good. So, oh God. So it's also from the character Eugene from Yu Yu Hakusho. I see. Anong gentle. Ilalabas ko na ang aking dragon. Dragon na maliit na may tatoong sisiw. Gusto mo ba makita ang 100% lakas? Sandali lang. Ito na ang aking 100% lakas. Humanda ka na, Eugene. Isasampal ko sa'yo ang ulo ng oten ko, Eugene. Humanda ka. Ulo pa lang. 3 inches na, Eugene. Humanda ka na kahit isama mo si Master Jeremiah. Sasampalin kita ng burat, Eugene. Humanda ka na, Eugene. Oh my God. Tapos. Oh God. Oh no. I still find it funny that in Ian of Naruto, they call it Shadow Clone, but in Tagalog, though, they just call it Kagebushin times 2 times 2 times 2. Blood Juju 3 inches. You guys will understand. Actually, I could probably share the video. Where is it? Anong gentle. Where is it? Anong gentle. Ghost bite. Tagalog. Oh God, here. Here. You guys can go watch that. There you go. Yeah, the times 2 times 2 on the clone jutsu. You should hear what the Filipino dubs of multi-shadow long jutsu. What the helly? Let me see. What else? Wala na. Finish na. God, I feel like there's even more but it's kind of hard to encompass the entirety of a language in just one stream, you know? Is there anything else I can think of? Oh, I never really discussed the structure of Taglish, have I? So it's basically the structure, the Tagalog structure that we have here, which is predicate, subject, object, right? But you can swap in English words. For example, kakainin ko yung apple. I'm going to make eat the apple. That's literally Taglish. You just swap in English and Tagalog here and there. Or I'm going to make bili the starbs. You guys, gusto nyo guys, you know, so which is like I'm going to buy starbs. You guys want? So you can swap out a lot of a sentence and Filipinos will still understand you, which makes it easier to learn, I think, compared to other languages. Some Tagalog words are borrowed in English, but nowadays we just be modern. Yamete good stuff. True. I swear sometimes Tagalog sounds like it inspired the language in Sims. I think it's one of them. It's one of the languages that inspired the Sims. Yeah, broken English, kinda. You can like loan words from English, we have Frigidaire, which is Frigidaire, the brand of refrigerators. So when you say Frigidaire, you can also refer to the fridge. But most of the time, Filipinos just call the refrigerator the ref. Because, you know, short for refrigerator, ref. Break in mo na yung bagong engine. You can break in the new engine. Yeah, like that. And like, both English speakers and Filipinos can catch on pretty quick, I'd say. Let me see, what other loan words do we have that are from English? Yeah, AC, aircon. It's actually kind of hard to think of any. It's kind of hard. McDonald's is McDo. Though that's kind of just shortcutting it though, right? But yeah, instead of Macca's or McD's, you got McDo. I don't think we have any shortcuts for any other. I mean, we call Burger King BK sometimes. Wendy's is just Wendy's. I can't think of anything else, guys. There's a lot more Spanish loanwords I can think of, such as mesa, cuchara, tinidor, you know, some of the numbers, counting the hours. Ipa-Xerox mo itong document. Yeah, get this document photocopied. Where does Xerox even come from? Is that also a brand? I'm not entirely sure. Excuse me. Do we have anything else? You guys have any questions? Because like at this point, I'm not really sure what else to teach you guys. You guys have any cultural questions? Anything you're curious about? Now, I'm not the most Filipino out there, but I think I have general pretty good understanding. It's a brand of photocopy machine. Oh, okay. I see. The brand that made photocopiers. Okay. What are some interesting cultural points we can talk about here? We have some of the cheapest movie tickets in the world. If you want to watch a movie, the Philippines is probably the place to do it. Even the nicer theaters are way cheaper than watching a movie somewhere else in any other country. Does chat know? Jabol is not coom. Jabol is to whack off. Nagjajabol, nagjajakol siya. I'm pretty sure it's not coom. Isn't there a different word for coom in Tagalog? Jabol is something else. Leche is coom? Huh, okay. I live half my life thinking that Xerox is actually called. Yeah, tamod. Yeah, that's coom. Yeah, that's coom. I remember that. Yeah. I remember asking in high school what that was, and people are like, no, you don't need to know that. Oh, you know, sorry, this is a bit of an unhinged story that I heard in high school. So, was it high school or was it college? I feel like it was high school. So one time, because I just transferred into a new high school when I came here to Earth, and one of the other students that was in my batch told me a story that for sex ed, a teacher brought a sample of coom and had students smell it, I think. If I'm not mistaken, that's the story that they told me. And I was like, why? Ew. Why would you do that? That's illegal. Was it in a jar? I think it was in a bottle or something like that. Now, again, this is a word of mouth story, so I don't know how true it is. But yeah, basically, then like all the students were like, yeah, it smells like bleach. It smells like Zonrox, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was not... He brought a coach. It was a lady teacher, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Now, again, I don't know if I can verify these facts, and it was very long ago, but that was a story that was told to me. Granted, it's 6, and so it might be educational, but still, I feel like you should not be doing that to your students. I think that's illegal. But yeah, weird stuff happens in school, it seems. And then... Why does it sound like a private group study? Oh my god. Wait. Something... I don't know. Okay, wait. hang on. We gotta start from a little further back context before we talk about group study sessions, quote unquote. So, in the Philippines, there is a very common conception. I don't think it's a misconception because there's kind of truth in this in behind the stereotype. But expats and foreigners often come here to find Filipino wives, especially the older ones, like older Americans usually. And you know, sometimes the adults need their fun, right? There are establishments in the Philippines like that, akin to Japan's love hotels, but they are not referred to as love hotels here. They are referred to as motels, or what else are they called? Travelers hotel, or whatever. You know, that kind of stuff, right? And they say that when students decide to have a group study session, it's usually at one of these motels or at one of the really cheap hotels. Like, you know, telling your parents, like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a group study session at my classmate's house, and then turns out you're going to Sogo. Yeah, so which is why parents don't usually allow group study sessions anymore. Or someone's house. Yeah, that's another thing. Sogo is the name of a what's it, like, affordable hotel chains basically, and their tagline is so clean, so good. Oh, massage parlors. No, we have those too. Massage parlors with the happy endings. Yeah, that's also a thing here. Sogo is a popular brand of quote-unquote motel. Yeah, that's the context basically. There's this artist I was following, and I've been following them for like well over 5 years, and they documented their trip to the Philippines. I was like, oh, that's so cool, they visited the Philippines. And apparently their guide brought them to a massage parlor with a happy ending, and they said they were very surprised, but they said it was also pretty good. I was like, oh my god, so it is real. Aya, spakol, spadjakol. Yeah. So I hope you guys are learning a lot today. You know, I feel like you guys are learning a lot. Any questions, class? Anything else you want to know? Maybe perhaps more normal things. We still have a mall culture here. A lot of people still go to malls. I know that malls are not much of a thing in other countries anymore, but to be fair, there isn't that much to do at a mall except buy stuff, which can be pretty boring. But yeah, a lot of people still go to malls. Surely by happy ending, they were shown the good ending of Hollow Knight, right? Yeah, that's totally it. Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Like how we call Mall of Asia MOA. Ah, yeah, just calling it MOA. MOA is pretty big. I walked around the entirety of it. Yeah, some people go to the malls to deal with the heat. Yeah, I will go to malls and or groceries that have air conditioning just to beat the heat sometimes, because like, god, the heat here gets unbearable. But to combat that, malls have started removing seats, so you can't just, you know, lounge around. You have to actually do something, or like be buying something, or in the process of buying something to have a seat, which kind of sucks. But yeah. We got museums. We've got what else do we got? We got some forts. We got some military bases, like the one in Clark and Pampanga. I mean, you can also use the bus for shade if you're a small goon. That is true, but if there are many goons, it's not the most ideal to be packing underneath my shadow. Cannons is there, might be usable. Oh yeah, there are some cannons around here. Also, you know, the other place that's super fancy and social, what's it called? Fort Bonifacio. Used to be an actual fort, but now it's like a shopping mall for the well-off. But
if you go, like, I've been there, and there are some statues that are like that memorialize the many soldiers that gave up their lives there. So that's really nice. But then it also feels kind of cheapened by all the all the brands being, you know, the high-end brand stuff being sold there, you know. I heard the Philippines have really nice, clean, clear water at their beaches. Not the ones near Metro Manila. No. Go to Boracay, please. Boracay is beautiful. I've been there only once and I want to go back again. But if you want a good beach experience, go there. What other beaches do we have? I can't exactly vouch for it, but there's Manila Bay. It's known for its sunset, I think. And then there's also, what's it called? Tali Beach? Bohol. Yeah, Bohol is also really nice too. Let me scroll up a bit. What else do we have here? I was curious, with so many beaches, are aquatic activity sports very popular there as well? For the common Filipino that lives in the more landlocked areas, no, it's not really. But I mean, if you go to a beach, then yes, everyone will be doing, you know, paragliding, kayaking, yada yada yada, stuff like that, you know. You can surf in Siargao? Really? I don't know that. But generally speaking, I think the life of an average metropolitan citizen is like that of anyone living in a landlocked country. You know, you wake up, you get ready for work, you go to your 9 to 5, you come back home tired, and then you try to feed yourself, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you get ready to go to work, and you know, it's that. And then on weekends, you try to gather with your friends, but since everyone's busy or have their own lives or have their own kids, and then, you know, like, you can't meet up, so you slowly drift away from your friends, and you're left wondering to yourself, like, man, what do I do with all this? You know, like, I miss my friends, I miss being with people, and then you get ready and you go back to your 9 to 5. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. except in the Philippines, you have even worse traffic. You can get stuck in traffic for like 4 to 5 hours like every day. Yeah, so that's not fun. The only time that's actually viable to leave at is like anywhere from 3 a.m. to maybe 6 a.m. But even then, you'll still be fighting some people sometimes. So, yeah. Thank God for Discord. Yeah. And then, yeah, rush hours. God, we hate rush hours here. And also, Philippine drivers are terrible. I'm pretty sure most motorcyclists don't even have proper training, you know? EDSA be infamous true. Because of the Philippines having more mountainous terrain, the roads be rough for real. I mean, the only mountainous terrain is because of like the poorly maintained roads, dude. I mean, we're not super mountainous, I think. I think it's just a sea thing for bad drivers. True. Motorcycles and trucks. I still recall we got a brownout due to a very big cargo truck in our small road. Oh god. I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh no. What was I gonna say? Aside from I guess there's nightlife. Nightlife is usually enjoyed more by the younger crowd now, I think. There's a lot more stuff appealing to the younger people. Red light districts do exist in Metro Manila. I forget where exactly. That's where all the clubs and bars and other kinds of clubs and bars are. Then there's also the rural life out in the provinces, which I think this applies to anywhere. When you live in a more rural area, your day starts and ends much earlier, usually because there's less to do. And usually when you're in the more metropolitan area, things are a lot busier, so your days end a lot later. Let me see. There was a time I had to wake up at 4 a.m. just to get to the office at around 5 a.m. to avoid traffic, and then my shift starts at 9 a.m. Oh god, I used to do that in like senior high school. Ugh. I'd wake up at 4, get ready and leave by around 5:30 a.m. Get to school about 6, And then that's when like the flag ceremony would happen. I don't know if you guys do this, but we have flag ceremony flag ceremony every day. And then my class starts at 9, so I have to kill time from around like 6:30 up until 9. So yeah. Oh, just don't risk on possible organ stealing, roofie if you plan on going to those districts, probably. I've never heard much about organ stealing, but I've heard about like general kidnapping, you know. Getting up at 4 is just another Tuesday. Yeah. Random thing, but the power lines are so messy. Oh yeah, that's something that may be a bit of a culture shock to a lot of people. Our power lines are like rat nests up in the sky. And like, they are very heavily intertwined. A lot of them are drooping and stuff like that. It's really messy, and they're everywhere, especially in the more central city areas. Hell, they're in even more urban. I'm sorry. What's the term for a subdivision? Even in subdivisions, horrible. You know, no one would dare goon nap a goon. They're begging for their terrible time. For colder climate in PH, go to Baguio or Tagaytay. Anywhere where it's in the mountains. Oh yeah, Baguio and Tagaytay are much colder areas of the Philippines. I would suggest if you're not gonna go to the beach, go to Tagaytay. Because you have the conveniences that are closer to the city, but also the much cooler, colder climate. Which will be easier to acclimate to rather than staying in the city itself where all the concrete absorbs all the sun and it's awful and it's very humid and it's just you know, that's all I can say. Watch out for the hail. Oh yeah, hail is a thing. Because we're too it's too humid in the Philippines to have snow. Let me see. We'll say Baguio Road is scary and how close the cliff sides. Oh god. I've only been to Baguio once in my life, and I don't remember too much of it, but the winding roads going up the mountain with the cliffside is very scary. It is very scary, actually, yeah. Posted pictures of the average beach power lines in the Discord. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So now people can see what that looks like. It's everywhere. You kind of don't really think about it, but when you go anywhere else that doesn't have it, it's like, wow, why does this city look so neat? Like, whenever I look at videos of, say, America or Japan, or when staff showed me America once, I was like, wow, you know, there's... somehow... It feels like there's more space in the sky. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah. Also Batangas, a nice place to get metal stuff. Notable one is the butterfly knife. Oh yeah! If you guys are fond of, you know, knife tricks and stuff, you can get like, yeah, those butterfly knives. Are they called balisong? Or is the balisong the big one? I forget. Boss says I was late. I was most likely missed it, but why do many people request to hear Hypog if you happen to know? It's cause you're literally calling them handsome. Like, hey there, it's like calling someone, hey there, cutie. You know, that definitely grabs attention, right? So that's why it's more easy to get someone's attention by calling them either pogi or hello there, Miss Ganda, you know? So, yeah. Excuse me. I once wielded a big balisong where you need to hold it with 2 hands, maybe for the Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. Also, I think we can kind of wrap up our lesson here, guys. Good session today. Otsu Addy. Okay, so I hope you learned a lot in terms of, you know, language and culture. I hope it has been educational. Yeah, may you use this knowledge responsibly. So, all right, let me go ahead and find someone that we can redirect into. And just so you know, this is my last stream before graduation. Graduation will be happening in a few days, 3 days, around the same time slot. If you haven't already, please do check the, I think, did I post in the Discord? Oh, sorry, I think it's been posted, oh wait, yeah, it's been posted in the Discord. I forget if I put it on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure I also put it on YouTube. You can find it in the community posts, in the Discord posts, and probably Twitter. I'll have to double check. But there's a kudo board, So if you want to add any last messages or things you want me to read or say there, let me know. And yeah. Thank you very much for the links. Thank you for the lesson. I'm glad that you attended. Thank you. What else do we have here? We've got Ki-chan is streaming. She's judging chat's confessions. That sounds like fun. Ryan is playing Elden Ring, Night Rain. Let me see. Hanaki is doing an endurance stream, 12-hour celebration. I would like to support that. Oh, Echo's also streaming. Hime is also streaming. And then Hanakyo is also streaming. Ooh. Oh yeah, the Nintendo Direct. Maybe I'll watch it after this stream. Let's go support Hanaki. Alright, what's Addy? Remember to be kind, courteous, and on topic. You only need to say Addy raid once, and you only need to mention us if the streamer asks. Otherwise, please focus solely on and until I see you again. Addy you. Bye bye.